Trump is skyrocketing in the 2024 presidential election Polymark betting odds, with him holding a 55.9% chance of winning the election. Polymarket has served as a reliable source for predicting presidential elections, as it correctly predicted the outcome of the 2020 election. And so in this video, we will be filling out the 2024 electoral map based on the latest betting odds from Polymarket. Do you think Trump is going to win in a landslide? Make sure to watch until the end to find out. So the first state that we're going to start with is Nevada. Now, according to the Polymarket betting odds, Harris has a 52% chance to win Nevada. If we look at the polls in Nevada, we see that Harris has a 1-point lead. And so Nevada would go into the Tilt Harris category. The next state that we're going to look at is Arizona. According to the Polymarket betting odds, Trump has a 66% chance of winning the state. If we look at the polling average, right now we see Trump is up by 0.9%. And so that would be a tilt state for Donald Trump. The next state that we're going to look at is Texas, the prize of 40 electoral votes. According to the Polymarket betting odds, we see that Trump has a 90% chance of winning Texas, which would make it a likely state for the former president. The next state that we're going to look at is Florida. According to the Polymarket betting odds, Florida has a 90% chance of going to Trump in this election. If we look at the polls, we see that right now Trump is leading by about 5.7%. And so that would go into the likely Republican column. The next state that we're going to look at is Georgia, the Peach State. Now, Georgia was once a solid Republican state, but it has been trending to the right because of recent trends in the Atlanta metro area. The latest polls out of Georgia has Trump leading by 0.8%. Now, if we look at the Polymarket betting odds in Georgia, we see that Trump has a 64% chance of winning Georgia, which would make Georgia a lean state for Trump. The next state that we're going to look at is North Carolina. Now, according to the polling, we see that Trump is up by 0.6% in North Carolina, a state that he won in 2020 by 1 point. And according to the Polymarket betting averages, we see that Trump leads in North Carolina by 61%, which would make North Carolina a lean state for Trump. The next state that we're going to look at is Virginia. So according to the polling averages in Virginia, we see that Harris leads by 6.4%. Now, if we look at the Polymarket betting odds in Virginia, we see that Harris leads by 89%. She has an 89% chance of winning Virginia. So according to the Polymarket betting odds, this would be a likely state for Harris. The next state that we're going to look at is Pennsylvania. Now, Pennsylvania is one of the key battleground states for this election. And so right now, according to the polls, we see Trump has a slight 0.3% edge in Pennsylvania. According to the Polymarket polls, we see that Trump is up and he has a 56% chance of winning Pennsylvania. And so Pennsylvania would go into the tilt column for Donald Trump. The next state that we're going to look at is Michigan. Now, according to the polling average, we see that Trump is up by 0.8%. But if we look at the Polymarket average, we see that Trump is leading by 4 points, 52% to 48%. And so this would go into the tilt Trump column. Now, Michigan did vote for Biden in the 2020 election, but this would be a switch in direction for Michigan, as it would vote for Trump Trump by a tilt margin. And then the last Rust Belt state that we're going to look at is Wisconsin. According to the polls in Wisconsin, Harris has a 0.4% lead in the state. The last two polls have Harris up by 2 points, and then the polls before that had Trump up by 2 and 1 point respectively. According to the Poly market odds, we see that it's basically a 50-50 in Wisconsin, with Trump having a tiny lead in the state. And so Wisconsin would be a tilt state for the former president. The next state that we're going to look at is New Hampshire. According to the polling average out of New Hampshire, we see that Harris leads by 7.4%, according to the RCP average. If we look at the Poly market odds, she has an 86% chance of winning New Hampshire. And so according to these betting odds, this would be a likely state for Harris. And then the last state that we're going to look at is Maine at large. According to the polls, Harris is leading comfortably by 9 points, 17 points, and 9 points respectively. And according to the Poly market betting odds, we see that Harris has a 88% chance of winning this state. Maine was a state that voted for Biden by 9 points in 2020, but was closer in the 2016 election. And so with this betting average, we see that Harris does have a lead in Maine, and that would make Maine a likely state for Harris. So there you have it. According to the latest Poly market betting averages from every state, Trump would win 306 electoral votes to Kamala Harris's 232. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to smash the like button down below and subscribe. Comment your thoughts or suggestions in the comment section down below. Oh, I'm really trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by election day, and I would really appreciate it if you would just hit the subscribe button. But anyway, I hope to see you guys next time, and until then, the political landscape out.